let's talk about something huge: artificial intelligence and what it's doing to our brains. As AI gets smarter and smarter, we've got to ask, what does that mean for our own minds? Today, we're going to dive right into that relationship. You know the feeling, right? AI makes our lives so much easier. It can help you navigate across town, it can write your emails, find basically any piece of information in a split second. It's an incredible convenience, no doubt. But it begs a really deep question. By outsourcing all of that thinking, are we letting our own cognitive muscles get weaker? So, to really get to the bottom of this, we're looking at two really important sources today. On one side, we've got a study from the East African Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies, and it sounds a pretty serious warning about how much we rely on AI. But on the other side, there's a report from the UN Development Program that kind of paints a more hopeful, proactive picture. Let's see what happens when we put them in conversation. All right, so first up, let's dig into that warning. It's really all built around this idea called the AI convenience paradox. The very thing that makes AI so amazing and helpful could, well, it could also be the biggest threat to how we think. The key term here is cognitive atrophy. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a muscle, right? If you stop going to the gym, your muscles get weaker. It's just how it works. And this journal argues the exact same thing happens to our brains. When we let AI do the heavy lifting, whether it's remembering things, navigating, or solving problems, the actual neural pathways in our brain for those skills can start to fade. And look, this isn't some sci-fi future. It's already happening. We do this thing called cognitive offloading every single day. For example, studies have shown that people who use GPS all the time have less activity in their hippocampus. That's the part of your brain that literally builds your internal mental maps. And then there's the famous Google effect. We've gotten amazing at remembering where to find a piece of info, but we're getting worse at remembering the information itself. Over time, that can lead to de-skilling, where we actually forget how to do the very things our gadgets do for us. And get this, the study takes it a step further, looking at this from a Darwinian, an evolutionary perspective. For literally all of human history, evolution has favored people with sharp memories and good critical thinking skills, because it helped us survive. But what happens now, in a world where you can just ask a machine? The evolutionary pressure to even have those powerful brain functions could actually start to go away. So yeah, the warning from this side of the argument is, it's pretty powerful and honestly, a little sobering. If we're not careful, if we're not intentional, the sheer convenience of AI could push us toward a future where our own brain power is just a shadow of what it used to be. But hold on, that's just one side of the story. That is not the only possible future. The UNDP report gives us a totally different way of looking at this, not as some inevitable decline, but as a moment of deliberate choice, a real opportunity. So the report kicks off by showing us where we stand right now. What you're looking at here is the Human Development Index. It's basically a global report card for health, education, and standard of living. For decades, it was going up and up and up, but look what's happened since 2020. It's stalled. It's flatlined. We're at this super critical point in history, and the choices we make right now about stuff like AI are going to be absolutely decisive. And this quote from Occam Steiner at the UNDP just nails it. The future of AI isn't something that's just going to happen to us. It's something we are actively building right now. We get to decide what problems it solves. We get to decide whose lives it makes better. And we get to decide what values it's based on. So this really boils down to two completely different ways of thinking. On one side, you've got what's called technological determinism, this kind of passive idea that technology is this unstoppable force and we just have to adapt. But the UNDP report argues for the exact opposite: human agency. It says, no, we are in the driver's seat. We have the power to steer AI in a direction that actually helps humanity. The report uses this really great metaphor. AI isn't some alien invading from space. It's a mirror. It learns from our data, our history, our language, all of our biases. So if our society has problems with inequality, guess what? AI is going to amplify that. But, and this is the important part, if we choose to build a fairer world, AI can be an incredibly powerful tool to help us get there. Okay, so if the future really is a matter of choice, what are the right choices? Well, the UNDP report doesn't just leave us hanging. It lays out a really clear, actionable game plan for using AI not to replace us, but to augment us, to make us better. And this whole framework is built on three main pillars.
First, building an economy where people and AI actually work together. Second, being really intentional about why we're even building this stuff. And third, investing in the uniquely human skills that are going to matter most in this new world.
So, what's a complementarity economy? Well, it basically means we need to change the question we're asking. Instead of just asking, what jobs can AI automate? We need to start asking, how can AI make people better at their jobs? This way, you create totally new roles, like people who explain AI or train it, and it can be a huge help for new workers, helping them get up to speed way faster.
Driving innovation with intent, that one is all about being purposeful. It means we stop treating AI development like it's some runaway train we can't control. We can actually create rewards and incentives for companies that build AI to solve real human problems, like making healthcare better or education more accessible, not just AI that can win some technical benchmark test. And it means working together, globally, to make sure these systems aren't just reflecting the biases of one or two cultures.
And this third pillar, it's really all about us. It means we use AI to bring personalized learning and healthcare to places that have never had it, but it also means our schools have to change. The focus has to shift away from pure memorization, AI is already better at that, and towards the skills that are fundamentally human. Creativity, critical thinking, working together. And here's the really cool part. This vision isn't just some top-down policy idea. It's what people actually want. A global survey found that way more people expect AI to augment their jobs than to just automate them away. We don't just want to avoid being replaced. Deep down, we see the potential for this amazing collaborative future. So at the end of the day, this is where we're left. We have two paths. Are we going to just passively drift into a future of cognitive atrophy, where we've outsourced our own thinking just because it's easy? Or are we going to actively, deliberately choose to build a future where AI is a tool that augments our intelligence, our creativity, and ultimately our humanity? The technology isn't going to make that decision. The choice is ours.